kindness, and more. Thousands of Arizonans have already joined Desert Financial, located inside the Payson Walmart.
Well, good Monday morning. We're at 4 minutes past 10 o'clock, and the weather station up at the Payson Airport showing 59 degrees currently. Hope you're having a great Monday morning. This morning on KRIM's Community Spotlight, we're talking about the Rim Country Camera Club. And with us in the studio, we have Sue Zen with us this morning. And first of all, Sue, how's it going?
Going very, very well.
Now, you've been involved with the Camera Club for about 5 years?
Yes, I have.
And we were talking a little bit before going on the air today. One of the things I know last year when we had you in, I think you ordered up 500 of the calendars that the Rim Country Camera Club does every year. This year, in a bold move, you've ordered up 1,000 of them.
We did last year.
And of course, I imagine that means you just had more demand last year than you could fill, so you decided to go forward, right?
We did. Last year, we sold out in mid-October.
Wow.
And there was a lot of disappointment around the community because they were gone.
Right.
So this year, we said, let's go for it, double it down, and do 1,000 calendars.
Nice.
So we started sales a little earlier, but we still have a few left. So we're here to help people remember that we doubled down. We did 1,000. If you bought one, we'd like you to buy a second one to double down with us.
And talk about a great gift. I mean, right now when everyone's starting to think about, oh man, what am I going to get, Aunt Mildred for Christmas? I mean, I think one of these calendars would be a perfect solution in that, first of all, it's all pictures from right around, not only Gila County or Rim Country, but all of Gila County.
Yes, they are. We expanded our boundaries this year to attract more of the interesting geography that occurs just south of us
Oh
here
man,
at Rim
some
Country.
amazing stuff, yeah.
But we kept Rim Country in our focus as well. So the beautiful places that we have up on the rim are still part of our boundaries.
Nice. And it's all local photographers.
Mostly local, some from the valley, some from down south. So it's open to anyone. It doesn't require any level of experience with a camera. We do accept phone shots. However, it's rare that a phone shot gets the quality required for the full page picture.
Right.
But we do inserts on every page as well.
Right. And it is amazing what phones are able to. I know that
Oh my.
the new iPhones. I mean, it's with they have all kinds of things for depth of field and everything else. And even for the cinematographic depth of field on video and stuff like that, which is prior to the iPhone 13, I don't think was even possible. So, but the bottom line is you've got a great opportunity, whether you're shooting with a phone or you're shooting with some higher end camera, to be able to get together with a bunch of other photographers. To me, that just makes sense because you can commiserate a little bit with, man, I'm trying to get this shot and I just can't figure it out, and someone there is bound to know, well, do this and try that and those kind of things. But just to learn from other people's experience, I mean,
Exactly.
that's profoundly invaluable.
Yeah, the camera club has grown significantly this year. We have 70 members in the club now. I usually have about 25 to 30 people coming to our meetings, and we love to share our experiences, our photos, and how we got them. We're also bringing in more speakers who are qualified to teach all of us, no matter what our level. We have a lot of camaraderie going on.
Nice. And now, what does it cost to be a member of the Rim Country Camera Club?
It's $20 per year.
Wow. Can't complain about that.
Can't complain. Family membership is $25. Students, $15.
Wow.
And you can be a student at any age.
Right. Well, that's a good thing.
If you're enrolled in class,
Right.
you're a student.
So now, and the club itself gets together once a month?
Once a month, the third Wednesday of every month at the library from 5 to 7 p.m.
And so you have, you mentioned also before the show today that in the past, a lot of times it was just members of the club that were presenting, but now you're actually, you've gotten to the point where you're bringing people in outside of the club for a little more expanded benefit for your club members.
That's correct. Thanks to a new sponsorship program that we developed this year, we have local businesses who have been so generous, including KRIM, who have sponsored us so we can build up enough funds to defray all the costs related not only to the calendar, but to our other club activities. So now we can pay speakers to come. We can provide really fun workshops. I'd like to shout out for Premier Dental and Central Arizona Association of Realtors. They're our banner sponsors this year, who gave us wonderful sized donations so we could sponsor workshops around the area.
Nice, nice. You know, one of the other things too that I thought was kind of interesting is with the expanded number of calendars that you're putting out this year, and of course that's going to hopefully generate additional revenues that were over and above what you did last year. You're actually looking at providing scholarships for people that have an interest in photography.
That's right. We are going to continue giving to our local food banks. Almost all of the proceeds from the calendar sales will go to the food banks, but thanks to our sponsorships, we're able to expand now and give in many charitable areas. The scholarships established in conjunction with Gila County Community College. And at first we thought this needs to be a photographer's scholarship, but then there's a lot of need.
Sure.
And a lot of people who need help to go to school. And we're really all about education. So we've left it open for anyone that the college identifies who needs a little bit of help. So we're excited about doing that as well.
Great way to give back to the community. I like it.
Absolutely.
Now, when it comes to the membership of the Rim Country Camera Club, I think it's probably fairly safe to assume that you have photographers with a wide array of interests.
Yes.
I mean, and give us just kind of a thumbnail sketch of how contrasting, or how the various interests
Sure.
come out in the group.
Well, we have people who just bought a camera and are trying to figure it out.
Which one of these buttons do I push?
Yes, which button and
Right.
what's that dial?
Right.
We have people at that level, and we also have members who have been part of the camera club for probably about 10 years.
Right.
And they have extraordinary experience. A lot of landscape
Right.
photography, given where we are.
Mhm.
However, we have others who are very, very talented in street photography, just capturing events as they go on, or people doing life as usual. We have people who do stunning work with portraits. Also, people who are interested in other genres like still life or panoramas, specialty techniques, HDR, real estate photography, which is not as easy as one might think.
Oh no, done some of that. Yeah.
That requires some special techniques that we usually have a speaker or two each year to help us learn that one as well.
And when it comes to real estate, one of the things that I find kind of interesting is that depending on the size of the house, and I know some of the homes that I've shot, I guess just to put it bluntly, are really small, and so you've got to have a pretty wide angle lens to be able to do justice to a room, but at the same time you don't want to warp walls and things like that, so there's just a lot of different little things that you have to be concerned about, and that's just on the inside. Then when you get to the outside, there's a whole nother list of fun challenges.
That's correct.
Interesting. And it's the same with all of these different genres. So do you find that most of the members of the club focus in one specific area mostly?
I would say most of our members are generalists.
Really?
We all get interested. Well, one I didn't even mention, it's huge, is night skies.
Oh man.
Payson's got dark skies, so
Yeah.
we are able to go out at night. We had several meetups this year to shoot the Milky Way.
Mhm.
We have a workshop coming up in February. I'm stopping to think, is it February? I'm sorry, it's April.
Right.
Night skies, with a world-renowned photographer who's coming in to teach us more about how to capture night skies.
I think I want to be at that meeting.
You can sign up today.
Some of the stuff that I've seen from a couple of different local photographers that I'm aware of, some of their night sky photography has just been astounding.
It's a
And the way that you can, with the use of some light in the foreground, you can paint different things in, and really, someone that's not into photography might not be able to look at the picture and tell what was done, but it's not terribly complicated. It's just a matter of you got to know how to do it.
And sometimes the way you set the camera is not intuitive for a night sky shot.
Right.
We think it's dark, so we have to set everything for low light, but sometimes, especially if you're shooting the moon, it's like a huge spotlight in the sky, so you
Sure.
have to reverse your thinking.
Right.
And that's what these workshops and meetups help us learn.
Right. And Now boy, I'm very interested in that one in April.
I'm
That's
writing
gonna
it
be-
down.
that would be fascinating, especially like you say, you're getting in someone who's really an expert in that, and so it's not like, oh, I think Joe knows something about it. Joe, tell us. I mean, you're getting someone that really knows their stuff, and what a treat if you like getting outside at night with your camera on a tripod, and there's so many neat things to capture with all of the mountains and everything around us. There's so many different ways to paint those pictures, so to speak. Very interesting. One of the things that I wanted to be sure that we mentioned too, that you brought up before going on the air today, was there was a member of the Rim Country Camera Club that's probably been in there since about the very inception of the club a decade or so ago, who just recently passed away.
Yes, Nick Berensenko.
Right. That's a pretty familiar name for a lot of folks here.
People will recognize his name. He passed away just recently. He has been an inspiration and a wonderful guide for many, many photographers in the Rim Country area.
Mm-hmm.
He did professional work with Arizona Highways and many others.
Wow.
But he was masterful in the classroom, teaching the photography course here at the college, and always willing to help anyone who needed some help with their camera.
That takes a special kind of person too, because a lot of times you find people, especially in some of the more artistic endeavors, that there's just a lot of I'm trying to think of the right words to use, and there probably aren't any nice ones, but they kind of get wrapped up in themselves, and of course that makes for a rather small package. But to find someone who was capable enough to be able to be featured in Arizona Highways, and they don't print any schlock in Arizona Highways, but to have the desire to give back, to teach others, to share what he learned. I mean,
Right.
that takes a special kind of good person, and he'll be missed.
He will be.
And he was a member of the Rim Country Camera Club since the beginning?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he was part of the club for many, many years.
Wow. Interesting. So, but now, you mentioned early on, how many members does the club have currently?
70.
70. And there's room for more.
Absolutely. We welcome anyone who's interested in photography of any form. You don't have to be an expert.
Mhm.
If you're just wanting to come and learn how other people take photographs, that's good.
Right? Nothing wrong with that. If the fact that you even have your mind open to people that just want to shoot photos with their phone, I mean, that shows that everybody's welcome in my book. I mean, because that's what a lot of people these days are doing. And we also talked beforehand. I know folks down in Tonto Basin and certainly some here in Payson will remember Douglas Hamm, another photographer who passed away a few years ago. And a lot of his work is showcased down at the Butcher Hook down in Tonto Basin. But he studied under Ansel Adams and always shot large format landscapes and did just exquisite work, very, very much like Ansel Adams. But man, did he not like all these new modern cameras with all the bells and whistles. He's like, people are cheating, basically, I think is what he thought. And I mean, I appreciate that purist in him. But again, seems like a lot of that, even though people may still have, very much a purist focus in what they do, it hasn't affected the people that are welcome to show up to the club.
Oh, absolutely. I began as a purist in my photography journey.
Right.
I just thought it was cheating if you do anything to your photo after you've snapped it.
Right.
And then
Photoshop's a four-letter word, yeah. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have to touch my photos. They're so
Right.
good. And then I realized how bad they really were. So I went to school, and thanks to a couple of our camera club members, Harold Rush and
Harold Rush is very
Alice
good.
Robley,
Yeah.
who were instructors at the college, I learned that it's a machine.
Right.
The camera is a machine that is programmed to get the perfect lighting every time you take a shot. Well, that kind of diminishes your ability to do moods and change the effect of the image. So they both convinced me that it's okay to change the exposure, even if the meter says this is it, change it
Right.
and get the effect you want, and then it's really okay to use editing software.
I don't know what I would do without, Photoshop with, I mean, the whole Adobe Creative Suite. When it comes to video, then, you get into After Effects and everything else.
Yes.
And there's so many wonderful things that you can do. But again, it all comes down to knowing how to take the right kind of picture to begin with, and even how to get that mood that you're talking about, rather than just taking something that you shot with your Instamatic. I don't even, do they even make Instamatics anymore? But I mean, to take something with a basic camera and doctor it up using Photoshop or other photo editing software is certainly one thing, but getting it shot right to begin with makes a huge difference.
Saves yourself a lot of time if you get a good shot to begin.
And you know, one of the other things that I find, well, I don't know, spiffy, I guess would be a good word to use, with some of the newer cameras now, where you're taking, basically, you think you're taking one still, but the camera is actually taking perhaps a dozen and then morphing all of those together into, you know, what it considers to be the ideal shot. I mean, the cameras are getting pretty, you know, complex with what they can do.
Very sophisticated. And
the nice thing is even if you don't know anything about photography, with some of the new cameras out there, you can take some pretty darn good looking pictures without having to know a whole lot. But you need to learn more, and the Rim Country Camera Club is a great place to do it.
It is.
So give us a quick taste of, with some of the other special guests that you have coming in to speak at the Camera Club meetings, what are some of the different things that people will be bringing in to talk about?
Oh, I wish I'd brought our schedule. January, actually, we won't have a speaker. We're going to have our annual gear night.
Oh.
So if you have photography equipment that you would like to sell or give, you can come to the Wednesday night in January for our gear night. It'll be kind of like a swap mart.
Right.
If people want to donate equipment, all the proceeds from selling that would be going to the club for our activities that I've mentioned. February is still up in the air. We have someone coming in, I'm not going to try to say which month, I'll get it wrong. But we have someone
in the future.
Yeah, in the future. We're going to have a speaker talk to us about phone cameras, phone photography specifically. We also will have more programs on editing. We're going to have one on portraiture, and on and on. We try to make a nice mix of both camera products and gear and editing. So we mix it all up as the year goes by.
And there's so many different things to learn when it comes to, you know, depth of field and what you want to do with the lighting, as you mentioned, and there's just a lot of different things, but to be able to get experts coming in and sharing their knowledge, I mean, what a treat. And tremendously expensive to be a member of the Rim Country Camera Club.
It is. It's a whole whopping $20.
Wow, for a year.
Per year.
Yeah, but then if you want your whole family to be a member, then it's $25.
I know. And you only get one vote per family.
Okay, yeah.
So
those of you with a big family that were thinking about taking over, well, never mind.
Yes, yeah.
No, but that's still, I mean, for $20, and then all the different learning opportunities, and I think just the hobnobbing and elbow rubbing with other members is well worth way more than $20.
It is. And the joy we receive from selling these calendars and presenting sizable donations to our food banks and to other charities is worth every penny of it. It's Christmas time, so our hope is the remaining small amount of calendars that are left of the 1,000 will go for Christmas gifts to our family and friends all over the world.
Right.
This calendar fits perfectly in the post office envelope, letter envelope mailer that's only $8.
Right.
So you can send actually up to about 5 calendars in those packets.
Perfect thing for that maybe family member that moved away from Rim Country or something.
Right.
But and how much do the calendars themselves cost?
$10.
Only $10. Yes. So inexpensive and a great. Well, I guess if you have real big stockings, a great stocking stuffer. I just think it's outstanding. And again, the photographers, most of the stuff in here, landscapes?
Mostly landscapes due to the nature of a calendar.
Right.
We try to set themes every year, but what we found is the theme just needs to be it's a calendar. And we do get a lot of pushback about, I get free calendars.
Right.
So what I like to point out to people is this is a beautiful collection of frameable photos.
Right.
For $10. Oh, and it has a calendar with it.
Yeah, it's a bonus. Yeah.
That's the bonus.
Well, I think it's good. And is this like 8.5 or 8 by 10 size?
It's 9 by 12.
9 by 12, so
Mhm.
perfect. So it really would be easy to frame that up.
They're beautiful in frames.
Yeah.
So we are going to be at Common Grounds this coming Saturday
Ah.
at their holiday market. And we have the calendars distributed around the community. They're located for sale at Plant Fair. The Roundup office just recently said we can let people in to buy a calendar there.
Hey, Roundup.
Yes, and the Visitor Center over on Main Street in the 87. Colors E Salon, the Realtors Board office, right there in that same area.
Mm-hmm.
The Pine Library and Herb Stop
Right.
in Pine. The Payson Library and Common Grounds.
So all kinds of places.
Lots
Yeah.
of places that still have some calendars left.
And out of 1,000, about 200 yet to be sold?
Little over 200.
Right, so, get them while they last, because they're not gonna
Yes.
last long. And last year, I found it kind of interesting, you set a goal of 500 and they were scooped up by October.
Yes,
And
very,
so-
very quickly.
So if you snooze, you lose. You wanna make sure you get in there and get after it, because again, these would make a great, holiday gift for somebody else, or, in my opinion, a great holiday gift for yourself, for that matter.
That's correct.
And the money all goes to a great cause. And you said that a good chunk of the proceeds this last year went to things like the local food banks and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes, historically, we've always given half of the proceeds to St. Vincent de Paul Food Bank and the other half to the Pine Food Bank.
Mhm.
Well, this year we're able, if we get all these sold, we'll be able to add the other third Presbyterian Food Bank.
Nice.
And we hope a few other charitable organizations here that we think are doing wonderful things for the community,
Nice.
and the scholarship.
And the Scott, boy, it's just win-win all the way around.
All of it.
Now, if people want to find out more about this, Sue, what should they do?
They can email me. It's sue@zencorp.net.
Okay.
Or they can look on Facebook for R3C Rim Country Camera Club. We have a page on Facebook.
Okay. All right. And again, that email address is sue@zencorp, ZENCORP.net. Golly, and again, the meetings are the third Wednesday
Third Wednesday of every month,
at the Payson Library. And what time?
5 to 7 p.m.
Now, can someone just show up to one of these things?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're not going to get shunned because they're not already a member or anything.
No, not at all.
I'm sure they'll get encouraged to sign up, though.
Hopefully they will.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I think this is outstanding. And again, if you want to pick up one of these calendars, and we know you do, they're available at many locations around the Rim Country, including the Chamber Visitor Center, Roundup Newspaper, Color Salon, and a bunch of other good places. But you probably should not wait too long.
That's right. That's right.
Outstanding. And who's coming to your, you have a meeting on the third Wednesday of this month?
Yes, our
Or of December, rather?
December meeting will be our annual Christmas party.
Right.
Watch the Facebook page for that. It might not be at the library. And we do have a mailing list. That's, if you email me, I'll put you on our mailing list so you'd be sure to get information. It's our annual business meeting and election of officers for the
Wow.
coming year,
Nice.
and a celebration of all the photography we've experienced all year long.
Gotta love it, gotta love it. Again, we've been talking this morning with Sue Zen, and Sue, again, I'm just absolutely intrigued with everything the club is doing. Best of luck in the next year, and hopefully we'll get those last 200 calendars sold quick.
I expect that we will. We have a great community.
Gotta love it. And we appreciate you tuning in and listening this morning to Community Spotlight on KRIM. Gotta get you back to a lot more of your favorite music. Got some REM coming up, Corey Hart, Hootie and the Blowfish, Jimmy Buffett, and a whole bunch more. But right now, a quick look at Rim Country weather.
Now here is the Key Room with the forecast.
Just like that.
Thank